today's video, we are diving into two wildly popular shows, Squid Game and Fear the Walking Dead. First, let's talk about Squid Game, a South Korean series that took the world by storm. The show is set in a mysterious competition where desperate participants, deeply in-depth, compete in children's games with a deadly twist. The stakes are high and the consequences are fatal for those who lose, creating a unique mix of nostalgia and brutal survival. Now, shifting to Fear the Walking Dead, we find ourselves in a post apocalyptic world where survivors face not only the undead but also the collapse of civilization. The show explores the human struggle to survive amidst a world overrun by zombies, dealing with themes of loss, survival, and morality. While both shows focus on survival, they differ greatly in tone and setting. Squid Game is a tense, high stakes game of life and death in a controlled environment, while Fear the Walking Dead represents a grim, unrelenting world where the fight for survival is constant and unforgiving. In this comparison, we will explore how these two shows, despite their contrasting premises, manage to capture our attention in such distinct ways. Survival is a backbone of both Squid Game and Fear the Walking Dead, driving each character's actions in their perilous world. In Squid Game, the participants are pushed to their limits as they compete in deadly games, each one striving to survive in a system that offers no mercy. The desperation to stay alive forces them to make difficult choices, often at the cost of their own humanity. Similarly, in Fear the Walking Dead, the survivors face constant danger from the undead, but it's all the collapse of societal norms that truly test their will to survive. With the world crumbling, they must navigate a brutal new reality where every day is a fight for life. Both shows dwell deeply into moral dilemmas, particularly when it comes to violence and sacrifice. In Squid Game, the characters are often faced with choosing between self-preservation and helping others. These choices lead to heart-wrenching moments where alliances are broken and trust is shattered in the pursuit of survival. On the other hand, Fear the Walking Dead constantly challenges its characters with tough moral decisions such as where to protect loved ones at the expense of others or how far they are willing to go to secure resources. The need to survive often clashes with the desire to retain a sense of humanity, and these ethical questions influence each character's journey. The characters in both series face similar challenges but respond in unique ways. In Squid Game, the competitive nature of the games forces individuals into situations where they must decide how much of their morals they are willing to sacrifice for a chance at survival. In Fear the Walking Dead, survival is a constant battle against not only the walkers but also the breakdown of human society. The decisions made in both shows have profound impacts, shaping the characters into people who at times are unrecognizable from who they were once. Ultimately, these themes of survival and morality intertwine, revealing the complex, often painful choices people must make when their very existence is on the line. In Squid Game, character dynamics are shaped by the intense life or death situation the players find themselves in. From the start, we see the relationships among the participants evolve from hesitant alliances to fierce rivalries. The pressure of the deadly games forces each player to make decisions that reveal their true character, often impacting the group's dynamics in surprising ways. For instance, characters like Seong Ji-hyun form fragile alliances, trusting others out of necessity. But as the game progresses, personal motivations such as the desire to win at any cost fracture these bonds. The choices made by each player, whether out of desperation, greed, or a sense of morality, have a profound impact on their relationships, leading to both betrayals and moments of solidarity. The constant tension between survival and loyalty highlights how personal motivations shape each individual's behavior, with each choice reinforcing or breaking down relationships within the group. In Fear the Walking Dead, the character dynamics are also driven by the need to survive but with a much broader focus on the collapse of civilization. The survivors must not only confront the threat of the undead but also navigate the evolving relationships within their group. Early on, we see family members and strangers struggle to find common ground as they face the challenges of the apocalypse. As time passes, the group's dynamics shift as personal motivations, such as the desire to protect loved ones or claim power, take precedence over group cohesion. Characters like Madison and Alicia must confront difficult decisions, balancing the survival of their family with the needs of the group. The shifting alliances and tensions within the group reflect how, in an apocalyptic world, personal motivations can either unite people in a common cause or tear them apart. These evolving relationships marked by the moments of sacrifice, betrayal, and loyalty shape the group's chances of survival. When comparing the character dynamics of both shows, we see that personal motivations play a central role in shaping the character's actions and relationship. In Squid Game, the players are driven primarily by the desire to win and escape their debts, leading them to make decisions that challenge their ethics and morality. Their choices often came at the expense of others, highlighting how the pursuit of survival in high stakes environment can corrupt even the most well meaning individuals. In contrast, the characters in Fear the Walking Dead are driven by the need to protect themselves and their loved ones, but the overarching struggle for survival forces them to confront their internal conflicts and the complexities of living in a fractured world. Both shows illustrate how personal motivations, whether it is the drive to escape, protect, or gain power, shape the way characters interact and make decisions, ultimately influencing their survival and the fate of those around them. In both Squid Game and Fear the Walking Dead, violence is depicted in a graphic and intense manner designed to shock the audience and underscore the brutality of the worlds the characters inhabit. In Squid Game, the violence is immediate and often shocking, with each game escalating the stakes and increasing the body count. The sheer graphic nature of the deaths, often portrayed in an almost clinical manner, forces viewers to confront the human cost of the competition. The brutal deaths highlight not only the survival instincts of the characters, but also the dehumanizing effects of a society that values wealth and power above life itself. The violence in Squid Game serves as a constant reminder that the quest for survival in such an environment comes at the expense of empathy and moral integrity. Similarly, in Fear the Walking Dead, violence is a pervasive force in the post apocalyptic world where the undead are only one of the threats the survivors face. The brutality of the violence, both from the walkers and from other survivors, creates an atmosphere of constant tension and fear. The show uses violence to explore how the collapse of society leads to a loss of morality and the erosion of human connection, as characters are forced to make violent decisions to protect themselves and their loved ones. For their loved ones, they often find themselves questioning whether the line between the living and the undead is truly as clear as it was once. This blurring of moral lines emphasizes the struggle to maintain one's humanity in a world that has lost its moral compass. Both shows use violence not only as a tool for survival but also to delve deeper into the loss of human connection. In Squid Game, the violence serves to isolate the players as they are pushed to betray each other for the chance of survival, severing the bonds of trust and empathy. The competition strips away any remaining sense of companionship, making each person a competitor in a deadly game where human relationships are reduced to mere transactions. In Fear the Walking Dead, violence similarly disrupts human relationships, whether it's a threat of other survivors who will do anything to secure resources or the overwhelming presence of the walkers. The constant violence forces the survivors to re examine their own values and morals. The result is a society where trust is scarce and survival often comes at the cost of human connection. When comparing the overall message of both shows about the nature of humanity, we see a recurring theme of struggle in the face of adversity. Squid Game delivers a stark commentary on the consequences of greed and societal inequality, revealing how survival in such an environment can lead to the destruction of one's moral compass. The show suggests that in a world where survival is a game, humanity is often sacrificed for the sake of victory. On the other hand, Fear the Walking Dead portrays the collapse of civilization and the fragile nature of human connection in the face of the constant danger. The violence in the show exposes the lengths to which people will go to preserve their humanity, but it also questions whether true humanity can survive in a world that has descended into chaos. Both shows paint a grim picture of survival, with violence serving as both a means of survival and a reminder of what humanity risks losing in its fight for existence. To wrap up, Squid Game and Fear the Walking Dead both explore the intense, often brutal struggle for survival, but they do so in markedly different ways. Squid Game immerses viewers in a high-stakes competition where the characters are pushed to their limits by a ruthless system, highlighting themes of greed, desperation, and the cost of survival in an unequal society. In contrast, Fear the Walking Dead presents a post-apocalyptic world where the fight for survival is not just about protecting oneself from the undead, but also about navigating the collapse of human society and the erosion of moral values. While both shows deal with survival, violence, and human relationships, Squid Game focuses on the dehumanizing effects of competition and inequality, while Fear the Walking Dead dwells into the fragility of human connection in a world undone by disaster. Both shows resonate deeply with contemporary anxieties and fears, particularly regarding societal issues like inequality, loss of social structure, and the uncertainty of the future. Squid Game serves as a sharp critique of the extreme disparities within modern society, illustrating how a broken system can reduce people to mere pawns in a deadly game. Fear the Walking Dead taps into existential fears about the collapse of civilization, the fragility of societal norms, and the struggle to maintain one's humanity in an increasingly chaotic world. In both cases, these shows act as mirrors to the anxieties many people feel about the future, highlighting how external pressures can bring out the worst in humanity, while also offering moments of hope and redemption amidst the darkness. As we reflect on the themes presented in both Squid Game and Fear the Walking Dead, it is important to consider how these shows relate to our own understanding of the world. What happens when society breaks down, or when survival becomes the only goal? How far would we go to preserve our own lives or protect our loved ones? Both shows challenge us to think about our own values, the power of human connection, and the price of survival in a world that sometimes seems as harsh as the ones portrayed on screen. As you watch these shows, take a moment to reflect on how they mirror our own struggles and fears, and how we, too, might navigate the challenges of survival in an increasingly unpredictable world. So now I have got to go. Please take care of yourself, and I might see you in the next video. Go.